All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. I literally just got off of my live stream and I'm filming this without having even moved, okay? Because Candace Owens just dropped an absolute thermonuclear bomb that is going to set the internet on fire, that is going to have intelligence agencies everywhere terrified of what she might know. It's going to have potential state actors looking for ways that they can put her in the ground before she's able to speak on Monday.
You can probably see that I received some information, a communication.
Oh my goodness. I'm so tired of Candace Owens. And I mean, I can only imagine how disrespectful it must be to see somebody that you may have considered a friend or says that they're the friend of your fallen loved one, only to have them day upon day, effort upon effort, try to undermine everything that's going on related to the investigation of your husband, throwing out every kind of crazy, insane theories. Now she's going to throw out a brand new theory. And at some point, we're going to have to realize that Candace Owens is not well. She's not right. She just keeps doing this. She came up with 3 different theories last week. We're going to probably keep theory count this week on who she's going to blame this week. So look at this video. Let's bring it in. Let's go.
All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. I literally just got off of my live stream and I'm filming this without having even moved, okay? Because Candace Owens just dropped an absolute thermonuclear bomb that is going to set the internet on fire, that is going to have intelligence agencies everywhere terrified of what she might know. It's going to have potential state actors looking for ways that they can put her in the ground before she's able to speak on Monday. Like, this is the kind of thing, I want to stress this very, very much and be totally serious as I say this, because this just dawned on me right now. If you are not familiar with how Andrew Breitbart died, okay, I'm going to give you a refresher on that right now before I show you what she's talking about, okay? Andrew Breitbart.
Before he starts, I just want to say, it's gentlemen like this. I don't know the real Jesse on Fire. I don't have any issue with him. No beef. What I am saying, however, is the way that he's going about this is exactly what Candace Owens wants. She wants somebody to believe all of this shenanigans. State actors want to put her in the ground. People set the internet on fire. Everybody scrambling and scraping. She wants that kind of stuff. That's what she loves to know, that she is in the middle of this storm and she's the one that caused it. That's what she wants. So no, let him go, Jason.
Art indicated that he had information that was going to be absolutely the end of John Podesta, okay? Both Podestas. And he said he was going to release it on, I can't remember the exact date. Let's say it was March 13th, right? He's like, I'm putting it out March 13th. These guys are human traffickers, whatever. He said about the Podestas. And literally a day before he was going to drop, he's supposed to drop this, like the nuke that was going to put the Podestas down, he died of a heart attack, okay? And you do not hear people questioning that very often in mainstream circles at all. They're just like, yeah, he died of a heart attack. That's one of the biggest strengths of the mainstream media, is they don't allow speculation around things, even when it's something like that, you know?
Okay, I didn't want to leave you guys on a crazy weekend cliffhanger. I needed to get that information out as soon as possible. Obviously, you can probably see that I received some information, a communication, which answered a lot of questions that the public has had about the story, or rather the non-story that we are getting from the feds, the push that Tyler.
Before she goes any further, if you are a Candace Owens supporter, you must demand that she shows you whatever it is that she has. She puts all of her cards on the table. I don't believe her, so I'm not going to even worry about it. So I'll just wait for further notice. But if you're a Candace Owens supporter and you believe her, you must, it is imperative that you ask her to show you the proof, show her the evidence, show what it is that she has up front, no redactions or of course, keeping names and such of that nature. But you have to do this, because otherwise she's going to keep playing in your faces. She's not going to show you any evidence. Let's go.
Robinson is this lone shooter, which they're trying to establish as a fact. Some of the burning questions that we had, okay, well, if he turned himself in, how did he also not confess? I now have the answers to that. The main point, the reason why this information came to me is because there's a narrative being spun right now by the media that Tyler Robinson is or was suicidal. That is not true. And that's a very scary thing when suddenly they're saying he's suicidal and, you know, he's in solitary, and he's not suicidal. So that was the reason why this information urgently came to me. Obviously, I know a lot more, and I'm going to share it with you guys on Monday. I just wanted to vet some of the things that I heard, ask some more questions from people that would know, and just to make sure everything I say is above board. And obviously, this lead led to more leads, and I want to give people a chance to respond. This is crazy. Nothing more that I can say. This is very serious. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that what we are being told has gone on is just not so. And yeah, this is really kind of going to begin, I think, to answer a lot of questions and many more questions that need to be asked. So I just wanted to let you know. I don't know, but I know. You know? I don't know, but I know that what they're telling us about him being suicidal is not true. Now let me tell you something about what the locals are theorizing. And like I said, it's the first thing that has made sense to me, okay? They are telling me that something which you will recall, the first people that got out the map of everywhere to look, and this is where the shooter walked, and this is what happened, and, you know, here's our diagram of where everything took place, and he ran to the woods and he grabbed the gun, but we're not really getting too many details about where he got that gun from. We're just kind of told in the woods. And this person tells me, actually, the gun was found in the backyard of someone that I know. We all know each other. And it was found by a chicken coop. Like, you could describe it as a wooded area, but, you know, it's pretty suburban here. And it was found by her chicken coop. The locals are theorizing. Again, we have no proof of this, but this is what they are saying, is that they're not being honest about the fact that the house right next door to where the gun was found is a mysteriously vacant home that is owned by the university itself, and that is where they believe that the true shooter ran to following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. They think, and again, they're floating a theory here, that Tyler Robinson was instructed to merely drop off his gun, okay, walks onto campus to simply drop off his gun at the chicken coop place. So I'm going to show you that. Do we have a map of that vacant property and where the gun location is found? And he says you'd have to be an insider to know that the general direction that person is running, even though they're very close, similarly, would lead him to the vacant home that we've all kind of had questions about. You know, it's kind of been vacant for a while. And actually, where the gun is found, it's just two different places. So his theory is that Tyler Robinson, and this would definitely align with our decoy boy, right? I did it. Oh, actually, it turns out that I have child pornography, is that Tyler and Lance could have gotten mixed up in some deep internet stuff, which makes sense because, as we have learned, Lance is deep on the web, and that they were actually instructed, maybe they're getting out of the situation. Again, we are in full theory zone. I'm telling you what I'm hearing from locals. This is not Candace Owens' theory, but this would make more sense to me, that these were just guys that said, okay, if we found something weird on your camera or weird on your laptop, here's what you're gonna have to do to get out of this. Maybe they're being blackmailed or threatened, or you're gonna go to prison for a very long time. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take this weapon, and you're gonna walk this weapon, and you're gonna leave this weapon right here, okay? And that's it. Then you're gonna busy yourself elsewhere around, and we will tell you what to do next. That's their theory about Tyler Robinson, okay? and that then the real shooter is an entirely different person who actually went into what they would describe to be a safe house of sorts. Putting it out there. And I can tell you that we are now prodding that narrative and asking if you are a person who has any footage and you have been instructed not to give any footage whatsoever. I don't know. I can't understand if you own the property and it's yours. I don't know how they can tell you it's not yours anymore, since don't forget, Governor Cox said it's all wrapped up. It's over. We've got him. Move on. I don't see how you showing us a Dodge Charger that you saw driving by would be problematic. Before I show it to you, just a tease.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Like, why does one theory make sense, but another one that seemed to be less Rube Goldberg type of thing, why does that one not make sense to you, Candace? But this one does. That's gotta be tiring, Candace.
It is just a couple of seconds after the sound of a shot rang out. Let's watch this together. And we're going to just cover that. It kind of looks like he's got something trailing behind him too. Maybe that's the towel that we've been told about. We can play that again as you watch this. Now let me tell you how I tracked down this footage. It took me all of 2 hours to track down this footage, to get the name of the person who had filmed the footage. And from there, after messaging someone on Twitter, they said, I got the footage from this person. This is the person that shot it, and he's willing to speak to you. I get in touch with this individual. Okay, very quickly. This all transpired in a couple of hours. And you will never guess what it is that he told me. He told me that neither the feds nor the local police had ever reached out to him. Never. I'm sorry, what? You have one of two people who have a recording of the shooter at all, right? At all. And the feds were simply not interested, as they were executing this manhunt, of reaching out to the individual who had footage of him running across the roof. How could that be? Why? Why would that be? Somebody explain to me, make it make sense for me. Maybe in the fog and the chaos, sure. But at no point did they go, hey, I see this really grainy image that's gone viral on Twitter. Maybe I should reach out to the person that made it go viral and see if I can track down that person so I can get clear data, meaning the metadata that exists, which will tell you the exact second that the person was running, to make sure it lines up with my federal timeline that I must be creating. If little old Candace is doing it, then I'm sure the feds at the top are definitely creating a second-by-second timeline just like I am. But no, they never reached out to him. Now I'll tell you what else I discovered, because a lot is going on. And we similarly, by the way, reached out to the person who shot the footage and said somebody is on the roof. We spoke about that earlier this week. He told us the exact same thing. He says he walked in and gave the footage to the Orem Police Department, okay? Nobody, and they said, we were overwhelmed on that day one, which makes sense. Everybody contacting, calling, someone says, I have this. So it makes sense that he would be on the offense and getting them the footage. But the feds never reached out to him until the 15th. After Governor Cox said the investigation was over and they had the guy, the feds reached out to him and said, hey, you're the one who shot that footage. Yeah. Did you make a police report? He said, yeah, I did. And, oh, really? We didn't know that. What do you mean you didn't know that? That this is the first time the federal government on the 15th decided to reach out to the other person who saw the person climbing the roof? I saw the person getting into the shooting position. You never reached out to him until September 15th? Yeah, my friends, that looks to me like a cover-up.
I wanted to bring this in and just kind of play it out and allow you a chance to hear Candace. She's now basically exonerating Tyler Robinson. So this isn't a direct affront to what's been told. The idea that most of us believe that Tyler Robinson did it or has some kind of plays a role in it and it's such of that nature. But she's not saying he's completely innocent. He did nothing at all. And that there's somebody else. This is just so messy. And she wants to do this. So that guy that was like, oh, she dropped a nuclear bomb, she's going to set the internet on fire. I mean, you're just feeding into her complete and utter insanity. And I just can't imagine, man, this poor family that has to keep hearing this stuff over and over and over again. And the team over at TPUSA have to keep hearing this foolishness again, being rehashed and re-adjudicated time over again and again. Now, it hasn't been, take that back. It hasn't been adjudicated yet. Nobody's been found. Charges have been levied against anybody. I got you. But to just keep going over it again, like, oh, no, this isn't the one. This group did it. Y'all did it. You're suspect. Oh, my gosh, man. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Please let me know. Do you agree with me? Do you think this is just going too far? Or do you think Candace might be onto something? Let me know. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Until next time, everybody, let's do it real soon. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.